readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears. Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about our most anticipated reads for the rest of 2021. We are slightly mood readers, so there'll probably be a few that surprise us in the last few months of this year, but these are ones that we're really looking forward to carrying on with.
2022 is creeping up on us a bit too fast, my liking. So we're going to have to squeeze in some mega reading if we want to get all of these in there.
Yeah.
But these are books that we're desperate to read this year, and hopefully we manage it.
Hopefully we do. Let's get straight in there. I'm going to kick things off with, of course, Lord Grimdar. I've recently been on quite a binge the first trilogy and recently finished Berserk
Binge the second trilogy and you're going to binge the third trilogy.
So I've got the Heroes, which I'm halfway through at the moment, and then Red Country, which is the third of the standalones. And then, Ed, what next two books are we both going to be reading?
We will both be reading A Little Hatred and The Trouble with Peace.
There we go.
So yeah.
And A Wisdom of Crows when it does come out in September. So
yes.
Joe Crombie is rapidly becoming one of my favourite authors in the game, and yeah, I can't wait to carry on with this. The Heroes is awesome so far, and I have no doubt that the rest of the series and the next one is going to be amazing as well.
Yeah, we adore the first Lore world, and we're hoping to do a couple of collaboration chats about the first Lore. One of them will be with Friends Talking Fantasy podcast. We'll be recording that this weekend, actually, which will be very fun. And also, we'll do another chat with Philip Chase, Dr. Philip Chase, and also Mike Book Reviews, which will be really fun, talking about the first Lore and some specific characters, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Indeed we are. So Ed, what's another book on your list?
Now, we recently watched True Detective Season 1 with Matthew McConaughey and
Woody
Harrelson. So it was alright. Now, it was amazing. No, it doesn't quite have the same impact.
Not quite.
One of my favourite TV shows of all time. It's got to be up there. It's one of the GOATs. And so I was doing a little bit of research around a little bit of the philosophy around it, and there is a book by Thomas Ligotti called The Conspiracy Against the Human Race, which apparently influenced the writers writing about Rust Cole, Matthew McConaughey's character. So I really want to read that this year. And also another book, which is a short story collection from the 19th century called The King in Yellow. So if you've seen True Detective, you would have heard of the Yellow King.
I'm not sure I want to read that.
Yeah, so there's lots of influences there, and I'm really intrigued to see how much those influences came into play within True Detective. So fascinating for me, and that's something that I will definitely, as I said, William said earlier, we are mood readers, so that is something that I'm in the mood for, and I will read it.
True Detective was just outstanding.
Yes.
But now something a bit different from that Southern Gothic, terrifying crime
horror
program.
Noir, yeah.
Now I've got Frank Herbert's Dune. Of course, as everyone knows, Dune will be coming out in October. One of the most anticipated film releases probably of what will be the decade of the century so far. Dune is the parent of sci-fi, isn't it? And there was obviously sci-fi before that, but it's known as the staple, like Lord of the Rings is for fantasy now. And I really cannot wait to read Dune. You did a few months ago and you said it's fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
And that it deserves its praise. So hopefully I will get around to this before the film comes out, and we'll have a review out on the channel as well.
Wunderbar. And the next one for me is Robin Hobb. So I have started the Farseer. This is the Farseer, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I've started the Farseer.
Be confident in yourself.
I'm sorry. You're the Hobb expert. So
Jimmy Nuts is the Hobb expert.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, we need to do a chat with Jimmy Nuts. That would be awesome.
That was motivation.
Maybe when you've read a few more.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Farseer. I'm going to be carrying on book 2, which is Royal Assassin. I need to get those nice illustrated editions because I've got the first one for Assassin's Apprentice. I must get the next 2 as well. But yeah, I loved my first entry into the Farseer. Fitz is a great character. It's just so sad, isn't it? I don't think I could binge.
Melancholy.
I couldn't binge them. I don't think they feel too sad to me.
I read them all in
all
9 of the books.
This explains a lot.
And the next book I'm going to be talking about is non-fiction, and we talked about in a video that would have come out a few days to people watching us on the day, and this is Margaret Macmillan's How Conflict Shaped Us, and I think that this is going to be absolutely awesome. The concept sounds amazing, and I love the idea of exploring how conflict has evolved over time and the different varieties it's taken in different civilizations. It just sounds like an awesome premise for a non-fiction book, and it's something that I think would really help with research it. I think something really appeals to me, but also for aspiring writers as well. I think this is something that really interesting, look into the psychology of people as well,
sure.
and that idea of tribalism. So I think that's going to be really interesting. And also, a bit weird, but this feels so nice in my hand. It's got it's perfect shape and size. So yeah, that's another reason to read it.
No, I do know what you mean.
Well, the feel of a book means a lot, isn't it? That's why we prefer physical books over ebooks.
That is true.
But ebooks are
I
great as
the
well.
smell. Pages. Anyway, Gates of Fire for me. Stephen Pressfield. Now, I've heard amazing things about Stephen Pressfield, and Gates of Fire is meant to be his pinnacle. It's about Thermopylae, the Battle of Thermopylae. If you've seen 300, I'm sure you know a little bit about Thermopylae then. But I'm really looking forward to reading this. Christian Cameron said this is highly, highly recommended by him. So that is a reason enough alone for me to go and read it.
And next, I'm just showing one book, but it represents basically the entire series, because I think there's 13 in the series, and this is Bernard Cornwell's Saxon Stories, and in particular Sword Song, which is the 4th instalment. I've read the first 3, and this is what it sums up the second half of season 2 of The Last Kingdom, which is the Netflix adaptation.
Yep.
It's a historical fiction series set during the rise of Alfred the Great, and it focuses on the central protagonist of Uhtred, who is torn loyalties between the Danes and the Saxons, and it's an awesome tale.
And
And
say his full name, come on.
Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred of Bebbanburg. It could go on a lot
You
longer.
missed Son of Uhtred, I
Oh,
think.
dang it, not again. But yeah, so this is Sword Song. Bernard Cornwell writes in such a refreshing and wonderful way, with forming fantastic characters. And in the book just prior to this, I met Finan, who is so good. So I'm
Yeah,
really
he's a
looking
great
forward to
character.
carrying on with the series. I'm not sure how many I'll read by the end of the year, but probably 4 or 5.
You're doing one
Definitely.
a month, aren't you?
But I might
So-
do more than one a month, because I've had a few month breaks. But
That's true.
we'll see how I feel.
Very nice, Will. And the next one, well, I was talking to William recently about kind of what inspired us to read fantasy when we were kids. Obviously, Dad's influence was a massive part of that, but what books really captured us, and
Yeah.
what captured me was similar to Philip Chase as well, was Lloyd Alexander's The Black Cauldron. So this series, so Taran, Wanderer, and all of these books in the Chronicles of Prydain. Prydain, one of them.
Yeah,
but
one of them.
I love this series. There was a Disney film called The Black Cauldron, which I think is fantastic. I love it so much.
Would you care to grace us with a Gurgi voice?
Gurgi mentions and crunches must be here somewhere. I love Gurgi, and so this really captured my imagination as a child, and I would love to go back and reread all of these for the end of the year, which would be great fun, because not enough people talk about Lloyd Alexander as a fantasy writer, but I've absolutely adored them as a child. So
There we go. Yeah, it's one that I think everyone will enjoy. It harkens back to that traditional fantasy, but it's so charming.
with that
isn't it?
Welsh mythology, the wealth of Welsh mythology.
There we go.
Seeping
That's
in
a tongue
there.
twister
So
for you.
exactly. So, but yeah, I love it. So more people should go read this, and definitely go check out Philip Chase's channel, because he has some amazing reviews and some brilliant thoughts and some really fascinating ideas about fantasy, where it's headed, and the beginnings of fantasy as well. So yeah,
We endeavour to have as insightful thoughts as Philip, don't we?
one day maybe.
Dr. Philip Chase. Next, I have. This is pretty random, and this is The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. And
Well, after you read Best Served Cold, then
there you go. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think there was a quote from Machiavelli in Best Served Cold, and I've also read a few months ago Richard III by William Shakespeare,
Mhm.
and he is a Machiavellian villain for sure. But anyway, this is to say going to be awesome. It seems a bit wrong, but I think it's going to be very insightful into the psychology of Renaissance Italy and
princes and
and that the kind of hierarchy
politics,
and that social circle of the nobility, which was very cutthroat, as we know. So I'm really
Oh no, you're going to just be quoting Machiavelli all the time, aren't you?
but
When William reads something, he becomes it. So
I call it method acting.
I call it weird.
But yeah, I think I'm really going to enjoy this, and there's definitely going to be quite a few quotes that I try and memorise and try and unsettle Ed with.
Can't wait.
That's my just goal in life, unsettle Ed in as many ways as possible.
Well, you've got enough practice at it. So the next one on my list is another book recommended by booktubers, which is I was listening to Jimmy Nuts from the Fantasy Network and Alan from the Library of Alexandria talking the other day on their live stream because Jimmy does a chat on his booktube channel every other Friday, which is great fun to listen to. And they were talking about The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. And I've heard amazing things about this from the likes of Petrick, and I think Nils has reviewed this as well.
Yeah, Nils loved it.
Yeah, exactly. And Alan and Jimmy were saying how the fights are amazing in this.
I think Sarah Reeves as well loved it as well.
Excellent, so that's really good. And I know that apparently the main character is just one of the most loved in fantasy at the moment. So it's got high critical acclaim from lots of people. I think it is self-published.
It is, yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to reading that. And you know, I love Japanese history, so that's fascinating to me as well. Cover's great, sounds amazing.
There we go. And I also have a standalone, but of a very different genre, and this is by Sally Rooney. This is Conversations with Friends. So I've read Normal People by this author. Normal People was also made into a programme. Both the programme and the book were phenomenal, and the book has gone down in my top 10 reads of all time. I think it was just a wonderful exploration of character relationships and growing up as well, and losing your naivety, basically.
Yeah.
And I think that hopefully, again, with Conversations with Friends, Sally Rooney will provide that insightful story once again, but in a different way. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Again, it's one of those shorter books, but the impact that Sally Rooney manages to have within those pages is just astounding. So there we go. My friend Millie, who recommends me a lot of books and also buys me quite a few books, said that she actually prefers this over Normal People. So hopefully I feel the same.
Claim,
it is
Mildred.
very bold indeed. So there you go. Conversations with Friends.
Very nice. Well, and here I have another book recommended to me by William, and now it's all about Byron. And William adores Byron, don't you?
Okay, let's make a distinction. I adore Byron's work.
You love him as a person.
No.
He do. Well, I don't know. I don't know about Byron as a person, but
he was very flawed.
We like flawed characters. He's a rain cloud. So William read to me the poem. Is it The Darkness or just Darkness?
Darkness.
And I was like, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
It was amazing, so I thought I really need to read that. I've been reading a bit. I'm trying to read more poetry lately, like Tennyson, and I've really been enjoying it. So I'm just going to go dive into all of his works and find out about how much of a morally grey person he is.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more poetry that I need to read.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'd say that Byron is probably, along with Coleridge, my favourite poet.
Nice, that is high praise.
Hopefully you feel the same.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
And next I have, going back into the horror genre. We've talked about a lot of genres so far, but no horror yet.
You're spreading your wings now, aren't you?
And this is Stephen King, Carrie, which is his first book. I've read this year. I've only read one Stephen King book this year. Last year we read Salem's Lot, which was we all loved. We did a buddy read as a family and we all really enjoyed it. Terrifying, but we really enjoyed it. And I read Later this year, which was his most recent release. I think he's just released Billy Summers, but before that, Later. And that was really great as well. And Carrie is his first story, meant to be one of his best, heralded as one of his best by many of his hardcore fans, as well as his more relaxed fans, more casual fans as well. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this.
Yeah, I read different seasons at the tail end.
Read that as well.
And Apt Pupil was
disturbing,
phenomenally disturbing. That's morally great.
That's how to summarize Stephen King. Phenomenally disturbing.
There we go. And the last one for me is, whoa, that's a big book. Crikey, what's that about? Nearly 800 pages. That's exciting. So this is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. This is actually an arc because it's not out yet. It wasn't sent to me. It was sent to Dad. So I'm not going to read it yet. But Dad said it's basically Blade goes to Hogwarts.
Sold.
Mic drop. If it wasn't, if it was mine, I'll drop it now. So yeah, I've heard really good things about Jay Kristoff's writing, and I'm really looking forward to diving into this because I love Blade. I love Hogwarts. What's not
there we go. And Jay Kristoff's meant to have a really great style. Papa Gwynne has been really praising him a lot recently, saying that it's just such an easy style to read. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, looking forward to that. Sounds like a very individual book with a lot of things that people are going to enjoy. Boom. And recently,
boom, 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 boom.
That's my favourite poem.
Yeah.
But, so I recently read The Gates of Athens by Conor Goodin, and it was absolutely amazing. In my top 3-4 reads of the year so far.
Wow.
The only person I'd say this year to rival Joe Abercrombie. And
Wow.
now I'm going to read book 2 very soon of the, I think it's called the Athenian series, but it's just the Athenian series. And this is part 2 of that. And I cannot wait is an understatement. I was just totally taken by surprise how much I love the Gate of Athens. I love Conor Gooden's work, but it's usually really easy to read. I've read The Falcon of Sparta and Dunstan, where his last 2 I read, and they're really easy to read, but I wouldn't say I adored them. But Gate of Athens was just completely different, and I'm hoping Protector is as well. I already love all the characters that I hear. They're flawed, but real and sympathetic, and I love them. And it's an awesome story as well, so... There you go.
Perfect for Greek week.
There you go. Perfect for Greek week. I'll be definitely talking about that a lot. And did you say you're done?
I'm finished.
Okay, I've got a few more. I've got A Monster Called by Patrick Ness. I've read a few by Patrick Ness before.
This is just sublime.
This is going to really annoy me. I've read a trilogy of his that I've forgotten the name. I'll have a picture come up because that's really going to annoy me.
Is it not Norse, isn't it?
No, not Chris.
Who's
Mallory
Norse?
Blackman.
Oh,
Mallory
that's
Blackman. But A Monster Calls. I've watched the film and it's got Liam Neeson in. I thought it was a really good film, very powerful, but I think that it could have been a lot more emotional. And Papa Gwynne said that the book is 10 times better as well. So, and he said that he cried at this actually. So this is going to be a really great story. I think Patrick Ness, he's got a wonderful writing style to him. It's something that really just, it really triggers the imagination and that creative side, that you can really just imagine everything that is going on. And he does this very subtly without going over the top. I think just the perfect balance for me anyway. So there, A Monster Calls. And now next, another book for Greek Week, and this is Killer of Men, which you've recently read and loved. Your favourite read of the year so far.
Yeah.
And this is by Christian Cameron, the one, the only, who is an amazing author. I've really enjoyed a lot of his books that I've read so far, but I need to read many more.
You do. Will.
And Killer of Men is Greek. And it's about, who's the main character?
It's about Aramnestos.
Aramnestos
Same
of
time
Plataea.
period as Gates of Athens.
So it'd be really interesting to see the story told from a different perspective and in a different way.
Yeah,
and
you know, as much as I enjoy Conor Gooden, I think him and Christian Cameron are very different writers. So you'll take something different away from both of those stories, which is very good for you because you're getting both sides of it then.
Well, I mean, in the Gate of Athens, the Battle of Marathon and Thermopylae is in that, and I think that there's a whole book in this series called Marathon.
Yes, yeah.
So there we go. That's the difference of detail, and I think I'll really enjoy going into a deeper dive into the history.
Yeah.
And now this is my last one. Leaning down takes a lot of energy. Leaning down, but this is Max Hastings' Operation Pedestal. I really enjoyed Max Hastings' work on his book on Churchill, Churchill's Warlord, I think it's called, and he's a really great writer, and I think he's very good at balancing facts with his own critical opinion while showing it is his opinion and not fact. And I think a few non-fiction writers often make this mistake of portraying their opinions as fact, but he's very precise about saying, no, this is my opinion, but you could think the other reason for da-da-da-da-da. And I really like seeing that full
That's
window.
what Neil Price is like. When I was reading his book on Viking history.
Yeah, because I think that it's fine if you really know the subject. You'd be like, okay, no, that's not a fact, but I'm not a master of this subject, and so it's very reassuring to know that I will have those distinctions and be able to make my mind up about a few of those things myself. So Operation Pedestal, he's a great writer, and I'm probably going to be borrowing Warriors from you soon, which you've got by Max Hastings.
It's fine by me.
But there we go. So they are our most anticipated reads for the rest of 2021. Obviously, we hope to read a lot more beyond that, but that's a quick summary, and we didn't want to hark on at you for hours and hours and hours. But yeah, so there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We've got a Patreon in the description below if you want to support the channel, but if not, just please put that like button or subscribe if you really want to, and I hope that you enjoyed this video today and hopefully more of our content in the future. So there we go. I think that's it.
Yeah, thanks for watching. To the Warband, stay safe.
Truth and courage.
Truth and courage.
The Brothers Gwynne.
The Brothers Gwynne.